Hi everybody! Recently, my family and I sailed on Royal Caribbean's Voyager of the Seas. We sailed out of Piraeus, which is the port for Athens. Then we sailed to Mykonos. We were overnight in Istanbul, then on to Santorini before returning to Piraeus. This is a short review of the cruise and it's split in two. The first is me on the ship, thinking back about the wonderful week we had. The second part of the review, because this is supposed to be a food channel, I'm reviewing the food and the food service. If you've sailed on Voyager of the Seas, let me know how you've gone on. If you've had a recent cruise, please let me know how much you've enjoyed yourself in the comments of this video. It'd be great to hear from you. So whilst old Voyager of the Seas might nearly be 30 years old, she looks amazing, she really does. There's no threadbare carpet, all the fixtures and fittings have been modernised. The amplification with Perfect Storm has been brilliant, we loved it. Floor rider, so it's got all the mod cons, more than mod cons of a modern ship, but the ship's kind of got the old school charm, you know, the old pink stateroom doors, lots of wood panelling. There's been pros and cons with the cruise. It's all it is. The pros have been the crew. One of the best crews I have sailed with. Brilliant. Stateroom attendant, main dining room, waiting and staff, all the bar staff. Probably one of the friendliest ships I've ever been on. And I say that very honestly. Really nice crew. Ports wise, got off at Mykonos day one. Strange not to have a sea day on day one, but got off at Mykonos. Got the water ferry. It's €5 return. We docked in the new port, so we didn't tender. And I walked through Mykonos, which is always lovely. I think it's my third visit. Then we went swimming in the sea, we fish in the sea. My son swim with fish, and yeah, really nice. The big surprise for me was Istanbul, Galat Port, where we dock in the city centre. $2 billion development, and it is absolutely superb. Wow, big secure shopping centre within the port. The cruise, it is a new cruise terminal. Amazing. We did the hop on, hop off bus around Istanbul. So I had my breakfast in Europe, and lunchtime I was stood in Asia. So we went from north of the Bosphorus to south of the Bosphorus, and wow, it was absolutely superb. It really was. It really was. So Istanbul for me was intoxicating. It was an amazing mix of the old and the modern. If you get the chance to go to Istanbul, go. It was amazing, one of the most amazing places I've ever been. Went to Kusadasi. I'm going to go back into my stateroom, into the stateroom. So in the stateroom, got an ocean view, can't afford a balcony. And it's got the Pullman bed, which my son has found very amusing. I didn't when I banged my head on it in the morning getting up. But the room's been lovely. Very clean. Kadek, the stateroom attendant, has been brilliant. April and Aria, our main dining room waiting staff, have been wonderful. Some of the best that we've had the pleasure of serving us. They've been delightful, been really good. And the food in the main dining room has been brilliant. I had veal last night, 10 out of 10. So main dining room, it's cruise food. It's excellent. So I don't feel the need to any specialty dining. Sorry, Royal Caribbean. Windjammer food as well has been great. Apart from, right, first of the cons. We got on board on day one. The Windjammer was like a war zone. So we sail next year on Liberty of the Seas. We'll probably go to Cafe Promenade for something to eat rather than endure the Windjammer. So that's the first con. The second con of the week has been the data on the ship. The app has been grinding, the Royal Caribbean app has been grindingly slow. One of the staff says, we're having some data problems. Not really spoiled my holiday, but just interesting. And when you go for a drink, on the drinks package, you swipe your card and they're still asking you for your stateroom number. So obviously there's some data problems where it hasn't really slowed us down. So anyway, I was talking about Kusadasi. Our lovely head waiter said get on the number 5 bus, and the buses are like little mini buses. We got on it and went to Ladies Beach. It was €1 each to go on the bus, and this beach was a long, perfectly golden, white, sandy beach with lots of local Turkish families enjoying a Saturday day out. Really safe, absolutely beautiful sea, beautiful sand, and free. Apart from the €1 each to get there on this bus. So we had an absolutely amazing time in Kusadasi. We didn't go to Santorini. My wife went last year and said it was mad. We stopped on the ship in order to see the seas and basically had the ship to ourselves. We've done that today, so we've had an empty ship. Which brings me to my third con. So lots of pros, had a brilliant week, don't want to go home. 2 little things that have been slight. The main thing that's annoyed me this week has been the behaviour of some other guests. It's been appalling, including some from my country, the United Kingdom, which has been shameful, absolutely shameful. But it's just been some strange behaviour. My son was swimming up and down in the pool today, and some woman told him off for splashing her because she was having a drink. It's a swimming pool. It's a swimming pool. He was just swimming up and down, minding his own business. I'm having a drink. Well, don't have a drink in the swimming pool. Go to the solarium. So, lots of jumping of lines, pushing, shoving, just generally rude behaviour. More on this cruise than past cruises. Don't know why. Can't put my head on it. So my wife's just getting out of the shower now because we're going to go back to the main dining room. So we're going home tomorrow. Got the luggage tags. Had a brilliant week. Thank you, Voyager of the Seas. We'll be back next year on Liberty. Back on Liberty. We haven't been on it since 2012, so we can't wait to see the amplifications. With food reviews on this channel, I've been giving a maximum review score of 5. But Royal Caribbean have exceeded this. So I'm going to give them stars as well. So food availability is 5 stars. Complimentary options are, of course, the main dining room, the Windjammer Marketplace buffet, Cafe Promenade, and Sprinkles Ice Cream Bar. So there's the free complimentary dining. The complimentary dining was so good, I didn't feel the urge to need any speciality. I've done them all before. They were all excellent, but on this trip, the main dining room food was excellent. So speciality, you've of course got Chop's Grill, the steakhouse, Giovanni's Table Italian, Izumi, which is hibachi and sushi, all freshly prepared. You've got a Starbucks and there's an ice cream parlour as well. Must note, they are very diligent with allergies. Every restaurant we were asked, have you any allergies? So, very cautious approach there, which is understandable from Royal Caribbean and very sensible too. If you have any special requests, if you request kosher or halal food, you can submit the request in advance within a prescribed amount of days to Royal Caribbean. Please get in touch with them or your travel agent if you want kosher or halal meals on your next cruise. They do also offer halal meats on certain sailings departing from Dubai and Singapore. The food quality. A lot of people mock cruise food, saying it's bland, it's mass produced. I've got to say the food quality, particularly in the main dining room, was superb on this cruise. It's always been good on Royal Caribbean, but they've really upped the game. Excellent flavours, expertly prepared and expertly presented. The quality of the food was superb. I really enjoyed every mouthful on every meal. We ate 6 nights in the main dining room and once in the Windjammer, and it was all excellent. For breakfast, we ate in both the main dining room, where you get served, which is very nice in the morning, a very civilised way of starting the day, where I had eggs over easy with bacon and hash brown, expertly cooked, or the other days we had breakfast in the Windjammer. We also had a lunch in the main dining room. That was a nice change, because we usually have lunch in the Windjammer, the buffet, but once on this voyage we thought, go on, let's have it in the main dining room. It's complimentary, and it was an excellent lunch. Right, the service. The royal waiters on Royal Caribbean are always fantastic, but on this voyage there was something special. April and Ira on table 311 on deck 3 were superstars. They were so friendly, attentive, efficient, funny, charming, polite. They were excellent. Royal Caribbean have got some amazing staff in the fleet, but our royal waiters in the main dining room and Voyager on this sailing, April and Ira, table 311, wow, they were brilliant. They really were. The head waiter, also lovely guy, very friendly. He even gave us some tourist advice to go to travel around Kusadasi. They knocked out the park. They even got my son up dancing on the last night. Just look at this. So thank you once again, Royal Caribbean. The service is better than ever. People have said, oh, they've cut back, they're penny pinching. They're not. We found the service, both in all the dining areas and stateroom attendants, everybody in the ship, very happy ship this. Voyage of the Seas, what a good week we had. And comfort, nice comfortable surroundings, good service, you can't fault it. Overall value, I'm giving 5 out of 5. Yes, it is an expensive holiday for us. It's our one annual holiday, and it just costs us a lot. We don't get a suite, we don't even get a balcony. We treat ourselves to an ocean view stateroom, but we find it's such good service, we have such a good time, it gives us value for money as a family. So thanks for watching. If you've travelled on a cruise recently, let me know how your cruise has been. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and happy sailing, everybody.